Before we start the show, just a word from our sponsor, Undeniable Press. For all your screen printing needs, located in the Corktown district of Detroit, Michigan. If you ever need any t-shirts or any other little promo accessories, posters, or whatnot printed up for you, go to Undeniable Press. They're located, once again, in the Corktown district of Detroit, Michigan, and you can reach them at facebook.com/undeniablepressdetroit. And those same guys who do Undeniable Press also have a clothing line called 20 by 20 Apparel. It's very much wrestling themed, all sorts of nostalgic themes in regards to the history of wrestling. And you can go check out their clothing line at 20x20apparel.com. That's the number 20x, the number 20apparel.com. Now let's start the show.
Fresh is the word.
I'm Jim Duggan, got long wood for plenty hoes. I keep it fresher than fresh, but you already know. You suckers bummy, I'm money, I got a ton of flows. My weed loud like a motherfucking thunder roll. Your shit quiet like you ballin' on a budget though. We see your kicks and we laugh and yellin' what are those. You see me shining like a suit on puffy. You know my grindin' shit is too strong, buddy. That's why the dude call money. I be stuntin' like it's nothing at all. Cause it's nothing to me, it's probably something to y'all. Trying to smoke like me, then come and fuck with your dog. Got a closet full of kicks, you can't cop it them all. And I'm fresher than the freshest, you can tell it's in my essence. Bitch, you see the way I'm rapping, yes I do this shit to death. Until I'm running out of breath, or tell somebody cut a check. But either way you know it's fresh, and either way you know it's fresh. Fresh, we fresh. Fresh, goddammit, we fresh.
Welcome to the Fresh is the Word podcast, the podcast about music, pro wrestling, and MMA. I'm your host, K Fresh, and like always, we got a great show for you. But before we get into that, just want to remind you of a few things about how you can support the podcast. If you go to freshasthepodcast.com, go ahead and just share any of the links that are on the website and any of your social media, and that will definitely help us out. There's a link at the top that says support the podcast, where there is a PayPal link that you can donate to. Then there's also an Amazon link. If you ever want to make any purchases on Amazon, use that link and it will give us a little commission back for your purchases. Doesn't change anything on your end, but does help out the podcast. You can also follow Fresh is the Word on Instagram and Twitter at Fresh is the Word 1. That's Fresh is the Word, the number 1. And then on Facebook, just go to facebook.com/freshasthepodcast. And give us a like on our Facebook page. You can also subscribe to Fresh is the Word on various platforms: iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Google Play, and TuneIn. Just go to any of those places and search Fresh is the Word, and it'll come up. You can subscribe to it, follow it, whatever. And you can also give a rating or any comments on any of those platforms if you'd like. If you give a rating, give us 5 stars. That would be awesome. And if you do leave a comment, I'll definitely thank you and read it on air if you want to. But if you want to subscribe, just go to any of those platforms and just subscribe to us. It'll definitely help out the show. Okay, we got a great guest, or we're guests. It's the whole band. And I previously in my journalistic sort of scene, career, whatever you want to call it, have been very Detroit-centric. But over the years, I've kind of created some space from reporting on nothing but Detroit stuff, Detroit area stuff, whatever. But sometimes I do got to, bring it back home to the home team, and support some of the interesting bands that I really do enjoy from the Detroit area. And this week's guest is the alternative pop band from the Detroit area, Lilac Lungs. The vocalist, Emily Torres, and the guitarist, Johney Birrell. And I think the drummer, Matt Jones, he kind of pokes in for a little bit in this interview. But it was just mainly Emily and Johnny for most of the interview. So we talked to them about how the band started, what they want to do, their new album, Eventide, that just came out recently. And I went to their record release show recently at the Crowfoot in Pontiac, and it was awesome. They're really good live. and I definitely wanted to talk with them after their concert. You know, so we got on the Skype machine, as Ariel Hawani would always say, the Skype machine, and we talked a few weeks ago about everything that has to do with the band. So here's our interview with Lilac Lungs. How's your weekend been?
It's been good. I feel like I'm on information overload right now, but it's a good thing. After this interview, we're going to do like a park day and go and just chill. And
yeah, I think that's what I'm about to do too after.
It's much needed, I think, for everyone.
Cool. All right. Start things off. You know, how did Lilac Lungs originally form? You know, how did you guys meet?
Well, it started out as me and John. We've been dating for over 2 years now, and we got together one day and we were like, hey, we should start a band. And, you know, we kind of started out as it was just us two in the beginning, and we wrote our first EP together, the Lilac Lungs EP. And then Matt joined because we needed to play music live and we wanted to have a drummer live. And, well, we kind of started from there.
Yeah.
You know, when did everything sort of take shape for this band? When did you first start feel comfortable with, you know, what you were doing?
Yesterday.
Just a blur of uncomfortableness, but we're trying to work through subtly.
But it's good though. It's good.
Oh yeah, we're
trying to figure this all out.
We say that, but like it still feels like we're trying to figure everything out. But I would say like a big staple would be our album release show. It was like really kind of just like a something that felt like it was like finally like, okay, like this is we're able to do this, like put on an album release show and have people come out and watch us, you know. And that was like a huge like gratifying moment for us. It was just like I don't know, it was super awesome. It was an awesome experience to have our album and be able to like portray it live and have people come out for that. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I was at the show. It was a really good show.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
cool.
What did you guys have to do sort of in preparation of that show to really feel as comfortable as you actually could? You know, you probably weren't totally comfortable once you hit the stage with it, but what's the most preparation that you had to do for that show?
Well, we totally practiced like 3 times a week to prepare for that show for a couple months. And then also preparing paying for like lighting and, you know, just like the whole like stage aspect, everything like that.
We actually rented the Crowfoot the day before, and we rented that stage the day before so that we could like
practice.
set up and practice all of the production, because like that's not every show. Like that was something that we spent a lot of money and time on that for that specific show. So we weren't used to it. Like that's what I'm trying to say, is like we're not used to like that production every night.
Yeah.
So that was something that we had to definitely get used to and practice. So we were there the day before for like 6 hours, just like setting everything up, getting used to everything. We ran through the set like once or twice, so that helped a lot. I felt super comfortable after that.
Me too. Yeah, we tried to go above and beyond for that show because we wanted it to be huge, because it was a big deal. You know, it's our album release show, and we wish every show could be like that, but, you know, until then.
Yeah.
Right.
One day.
One day. You know, at the show, when you looked out and you saw so many people there, you know, what went through your heads?
Gosh, it's such a surreal feeling when you step on stage. Like, there's a certain aspect of being kind of nervous a little bit before, but I don't know if that is like that for you guys. But when I, like, instantly get on stage, like, I'm not nervous anymore, and I'm just, like, in a good way, overwhelmed by all the people and the faces, like you were saying. It's just, like, a surreal moment, just like what we live for.
It feels like what a dream, like, when you remember a dream, that's what it feels like to me. Like, it feels like, wow, like that, and not to be like cliche or like anything, but like, and I don't mean that in like, wow, it was a dream, because it was an awesome moment, but like, it feels like I'm remembering a dream.
Like, did that even happen?
Yeah, like,
you know,
was that real, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Which was, yeah. It's like, we walked out on stage and it was like done, and we were off stage and I was like, yeah, so that happened. Like, I see the pictures and everything, but like I remember like vivid moments from it. Like you remember like a dream, like something very specific in detail or something, and it's just, I don't know how to explain it. That's like the best way I can explain how it felt. It's just like it reminds me of remembering a dream. Mm-hmm. And it was so, it was really like, I don't know. It was like inspiring for us too, because after like everything like settled in and we got to like meet with people who wanted to like take pictures of us and like take pictures with us and hang out with us after the show, and it was really I don't know, like surreal, like that. I don't know. It was awesome to get that much support. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like it's really cool that to like put something out and to get support at all, you know, from it. Mm-hmm. But especially that night was really cool.
Right. Like I kind of think about this like sort of like the bands that you had opening the show, and then some of the bands you've done shows with around town. Everybody that's sort of adjacent to what you guys are doing. There's a really positive sort of community going on. Do you feel that with everybody?
Yeah, especially with those bands that we played with. Mm-hmm. Like everyone has their band friends that they connect with most, and I think that those are ours. In the scene is like, it feels like it's super comfortable. Like we didn't play that show and we weren't like, well, these guys do well and these guys draw a bunch of numbers. We said like, okay, who are we closest with, who we played with the most, who we most comfortable with, and that's what made that day go smoothly. I think is like we knew everyone, and it was just like friends hanging out mostly, and then playing a really cool show together. So it was definitely a community though. It feels like friends.
Right. It's super chill, super fun. It was a fun show. I loved it.
That's what we want. We wanted to focus on that, I think, because a lot of shows you go to and you just see like a band play and like either leave, or like a band play and not talk to the other bands, which is like, I don't know. It just, it doesn't seem like it should be like that. You should be like friendly to each other and nice to each other and want to hang out, you know, because we're all in the same boat. So it's cool to have that friendship with them.
Right. And I saw members of other bands there that weren't even on the bill.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are what are some of the musical influences that you all have that you had that pointed you creatively to the direction that you wanted for this band?
Okay. We take influence from like everybody. We just love like watching tons of musicians and, you know, how they perform live and, you know, the way that they carry themselves. I can think of like Michael Jackson to like even, you know, 21 Pilots or something now. It's just like a mix of everybody.
I personally, I like to, I don't know, I get inspired from like a lot of things. I feel like it's not just like, wow, like this particular artist is really cool, I want to duplicate that or whatever, you know. It's like, I'll gain inspiration from like movie soundtracks and I'll be like, wow, that really made me feel like a certain way that I want to portray. And even like down to not musical inspirations, like how artists carry themselves, like what Emily was talking about, and how they deal with people who support them, and how they deal with just everything. And not only in live performance too, like it takes a lot to perform your music on stage, and you have to think about like a lot of those aspects that you have to portray. So I think it's not fair to say like this artist inspired this or this artist inspired that, because we gain from like so much, I feel. And we're also like diverse, we're different and from each other too. So I think we all just like kind of draw that in from our personal lives and kind of channel it towards the direction that we want to take for the band.
At the release show, which song was it that you had the video going on with clips from people?
It was Tranquil.
Okay, what's the story behind all that?
So Tranquil, we wrote, it was for the Lilac Lungs EP. It's our first EP. And I wrote it from just kind of speaking on like anxiety and panic attacks and stuff that I deal with. And I know that a lot of our fans and our friends and stuff, that's just something that a lot of people go through. And I wanted to be very in-depth with the things that I dealt with, because I've never written music like that, and I really wanted to dive into that. And even for Eventide, our album that we just released, I felt like I really chose lyrics that were, you know, in depth and stuff about the things that I go through. And yeah, so that was Tranquil.
Do you feel like with the stuff that you did on Eventide, you were able to get more personal than ever before on this record?
I would say so. Yeah. I really wanted to channel that part of me of really talking about the things that I've gone through, you know, and not being afraid to talk about the things that make you afraid.
Like, what do you hope your listeners get out of listening to your music?
I hope that they really realize that they're not alone with things that they go through. And, you know, even us, like, we go through stuff that they would go through just the same. And, you know, we really want to be, like, a band that you needed when you were, like, in high school or middle school or when you were out of high school at any age. We just want to be, you know, we want to create a community that feels like, you know, we're all in this together.
What sort of feedback do you get on your shows, you know, specifically the record release party, anytime that you perform? You know, what sort of feedback did you get from the audience?
Well, a lot of people liked when I got in the crowd and they were holding me up.
Oh, that was fun.
I've always wanted to do that, and I can't think of a better time than to do it at our album release show.
Right. That was great.
When I don't know, live, like playing your music live is super, like, it's difficult, and you'd think it would be like a breeze. You just go up there and like, oh yeah, you just play the songs. But I mean, like, for me, I think I make it hard on myself because I think I tend to overthink things. But I want to think of like every little detail that we're like doing on stage, and like even down to, I don't know, like drinking water. Like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but when I'm on stage and when I feel like I'm portraying my music, I want to focus on those details just because I think it's important. And I think every little like movement on stage is important and equally as important. Yeah. So I focus a lot on little stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's good to do that, though.
Yeah. And I think it's good. Like, good feedback is when people say like, or don't say like they didn't like this, or they didn't like when I was drinking my water bottle right by the mic, you know. So I do not do those things so people don't say that. Like, hey, don't do that next time. That was awkward, you know. So like, good feedback is when we don't get those reactions. I feel like when it goes smoothly and no one says anything about that sort of like awkwardness, and like everyone is like, okay, yeah, it went good. It was good, you know. And you know, it just
you did a good job. You did a good job.
And you're like, I think that's good. You know, I don't know. I'd rather have that than, hey, don't do this, because I feel like a lot of people like to critique you and like to come up to you and say like, hey, next time don't do that. But we didn't. I feel like I didn't get a lot of that for this show. It was more all positive stuff and not a lot of like critiquing. You know,
our dads didn't say anything to us.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about our dads. Like, they critique us a lot.
Do your parents come out to your shows a lot?
Yeah.
My mom actually lives in Florida, and so does my sister, and they were both at that album release show.
They flew all the way out there to come to that.
What'd they think?
They loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it. My mom
no critiques.
No, not at all.
Kim.
My mom is like our biggest fan.
Yeah.
So she was like, I saw during like more than once during the show, I saw my mom like jumping in the crowd, like right by the barricade, and I was like,
yeah, I saw everybody's parents and stuff. I was nearby. I saw them all partying. So
yep.
So that was really fun.
Yeah.
Going into making this album, you know, what was sort of your mindset going into it, what you wanted to do? What was sort of the mood of all you guys when sort of figuring out what you wanted to exactly do on this album?
So
we had never done it before.
Yeah, it was our first album, as you know.
So like, we didn't have, personally, I didn't have like okay, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is how I'm going to be thinking, and I want to get it done this way, because I had never like recorded a full length before. we stayed at our producer's house for like 2 weeks straight. And every day we woke up at like 10 a.m. and went to bed at like 2 a.m. And in between that, during those times, we just worked on music and recorded stuff. So it was a lot to take in, and it was a learning process for all of us. I think like now, when going into our next album or our next phase, we can say like, okay, this is what we can like expect, and this is what we can like go into doing. Personally, I would. I don't know, this is like getting in detail, but I would have liked to focus more on like pre-production work. And I think that would have helped me a lot more going into the studio. But, other than that, I didn't really have like a mindset, I knew we were going to like, we were paying a lot of money for this and we had to get it done like fairly quickly. But like, other than that, it was kind of just like, oh, well, hope for the best.
The only thing I did know that I wanted was the album to be called Eventide. I've always wanted to name our first album as a band to be Eventide because I love that word and what it stands for. And so Eventide is another name or synonym for like evening or, nighttime.
Yeah.
And someone who like deals with a lot of mental health issues and stuff, they know that, the nighttime can be kind of difficult. That's when you think about a lot of things. And the album artwork for Eventide was supposed to represent like a never-ending sunset, to kind of like, a place to hold all of these songs and the things that you go through and the things that you are dealing with. And that's why I just wanted it to be called Eventide. I thought it was very fitting. Always wanted it to be that.
Who did you guys work with on this record? Who produced it?
Lee Albrecht of Lee Albrecht Studios, right?
He lives in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
He was actually one of our friends before going in there, so we kind of knew what he did.
It sounds like you're not friends with him now.
Yeah, we're not friends.
Before we went in there.
No.
Yeah, he's actually in a band, a metal band, and Seraphim. He's in a band called Seraphim, and he does awesome work.
What'd you guys learn, working with him, during this writing and recording process? Was there anything you were like, oh, like that kind of like sparked in your mind while that you were recording with him and he was helping you out?
For me, to be a little bit more prepared, like I was talking about, musically, because I felt like we were going into the studio and we just like jammed ourselves and we were like, oh gosh, we got to figure out that now, and like it was just like stumble after stumble after stumble, and hopefully it worked out, but or thankfully, but I would have liked to be like more prepared.
Yeah.
A little bit more prepared because, it was our first time and we learned a lot from doing it. So I would have liked to take a lot more time with like how specifically everything was going to go. Because we had like a basic idea of the songs and what we wanted to do and chord
like
structure and all
and
that.
stuff.
But like getting down to like the detail of every song, I would have liked to have an idea for like every little detail. I know that sounds kind of like anal, but it just, I don't know. It would have made me feel better because like going into it, we could have like changed a little here and there, but we would have like a good idea of like what the song, exactly what we wanted for it, which we sort of had like a general idea, but it wasn't like I don't know, like a in detail kind of thing. I don't know. That's how I felt.
Was there anything about the the in studio process that you weren't, expecting?
His roommate had a pet bunny, just like the whole time that we were there, and he would just like run around. I definitely didn't expect that. So.
Didn't expect? Was that the question?
Right. Yeah.
Something we didn't expect?
Yeah, during the recording process.
Didn't expect. The
bunny.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
At this point, what do you feel you need to do at this point to sort of, break out of, just being like a Michigan band or a regional band and being able to go elsewhere? What do you think you need to do at this point?
Touring.
Yeah.
It's time for us to tour.
Yeah.
And we're ready to do it. We're ready to go. we're actually planning some tour dates coming up soon. We're going to release.
Yeah, just getting on the road, I think, and really taking the time to like grind out each city of like where we want to go. I know we're going like down south and some Midwest states in the summer, and then in the fall time we're going over west, like the west side of the country. So really just like taking apart each city that we want to go to and say, okay, we want to play here, and here and here, and like all over, hopefully. So just playing all over, spreading the word, you know. Yeah, spreading the good word, having good old times. That's the dream, right?
Right. As still being a fairly new band, what, you know, has there been any advice you've been able to pick up with anybody that you've worked with or just are acquaintance with, whether it's other bands, publicists, managers, whatever, in regards to, you know, where you're going to go next with everything?
Well, I feel like we have, we're starting to build like a strong team behind us.
Yeah.
So we're learning like every day, like
New stuff.
yeah,
about
learn
the
stuff,
music
yeah,
industry and all that.
how in detail it actually is, and like how in depth it can be.
Yeah.
But as far as like specific like lessons or something we've learned, do you guys have anything? I can't think of anything.
I just think of like just a quote that I carry around with me everywhere is perform with as much conviction for 5 people as you would for 5,000 people. I've always loved that one, to kind of just always perform every show as if you're performing for thousands of people.
Right. What do you feel that your future aspirations are for this band?
You know, perform at the Grammys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like we have a lot of realistic goals, but like
Grammys.
the Grammys next year. But I feel like we also have like a lot of like not unrealistic, but like crazy goals that will come in time, but like that aren't going to happen like next year or something. They're going to take like a lot of time. We hopefully like will blow up tomorrow, but I think we have a lot of realistic goals, like touring a lot, playing everywhere, and getting this next cycle ready too. I know we're already thinking about that. We just released a cycle, but like I'm already thinking about doing pre-production for the next album, which is crazy. But I feel like being that prepared will help me out.
Yeah, and you know more about, you know, what to expect the next time, so that like you can get started now if you feel the urge.
Exactly. So like any downtime that I get, I'm in like my room I'm dabbling with like music, dabbling with music software and stuff.
How are you guys getting prepared for upcoming shows or touring? I know when the band first started, it was just you two. Then you said you added members. You know, how do those, you know, extra members, you know, that you added, you know, what do they bring to the table for this band?
Nothing. Well, I feel like we've developed into like what Lilac Lungs is, because we had a very specific idea of what we wanted to do in the very beginning, and then we had those like member changes or whatever, and now we're going back to that like specific vision of like, okay, this is Lilac Lungs and we're growing as this. So I feel like we're all like a part of Lilac Lungs now. You know, it's not just Emily and I. You know, it's definitely like a team thing. You know, so it's and aside from that, like I've grown in like my friendship with Matt. You know, I was like dating Emily, but I've grown like really like a lot, and I'm super, super grateful for that. Like he's like my best friend now. So it's grown that way, and as a band, just as like this is what Lilac Lungs is. Not just like what can they add. It's like this is who we are. You know.
You know, through the time, has there been like roles established between each member of the group about, you know, what they do both musically and as part of like the band as a whole?
Yeah, and I feel like we're always figuring that out. We recently went through a lot of change and got put in some like uncomfortable, but comfortable at the same time situations where we had to learn and grow. And we're always like figuring out and you know what we each do for the band. So it's a growing process in itself, figuring out like, okay, like we can do this or whatever, but it's been a process figuring that out, and especially as like a new band, we had to go through like the kinks and work through some weird spots, but now I feel like we're on a really good track, and I'm super comfortable and confident with our vision that we have for the next few months and future, but specifically in these next year or so, I'm excited for it.
As you know, as any band grows, you know, there'll be more responsibilities, more sacrifices, you know, all types of shit like that. Is there anything about like this band that you hope never changes?
I hope Matt never cuts his hair.
For real.
Because I would.
That'd ruin everything.
I'd quit.
Yeah,
I honestly would. We wouldn't be the same.
No.
He has the longest hair of the group, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have longer hair than I do.
I aspire to be that one day. I don't know if I can pull off that like him, but you know, I'm getting there.
Right.
I just always aspire to be as cool as Matt, and that's how the band. That's where
how
we
we
get our
grow.
inspiration.
Yeah.
He brought the
Is-
coolness to the band.
Trying to be as cool as Matt.
Yeah.
That's how we write our. That's what all of our songs are about.
He set the bar.
Yeah.
What do you think is the scariest thing about being a music artist?
You know, failing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, dropping out of college and then, you know.
Well, being this young, I think, like this age in general is like weird.
Wait, how old is everybody?
I'm 20
And we're 21.
and they're both 20.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
So we're
it's
both
a
pretty-
weird. It's like a
yeah.
weird age. Even like with kids that are going to school or any
Mhm.
20-ish year old is going through, I think, the same thing. It's just like taking risks and
Yeah.
doing things that you think will help you in the future, hopefully. But I think as a musician, how it affects me is like there's no real security. Like you could, at least in like college, you have curriculum that you have to follow or like tests that you have to go take or whatever. But like with music, being a musician is like, it's all on you. It's all you. You know,
You gotta figure it
you
out.
got to do it. You have to figure it out. And if you don't, then you know you're gonna be living under a bridge, which wouldn't be a bad thing. I think it's a cool aesthetic. But, sorry. Yeah.
It's the hair.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like any 20-year-old, you're gonna have to take risks, but music's hard, man.
Music is hard.
Being a musician's like emotionally hard and
Yeah.
Mentally draining.
But when you're a musician, it just feels right. Just doing music, it's always just felt right.
So yeah.
It feels like the right way.
I guess that's a sign that you care, though.
Yeah.
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 It's that,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, no matter like how tired we are, we get up and think about what we have to do next, you know. And like Matt was just saying, like that's a sign that we actually want this, and we want to do it, and we strive to do it every single day,
Yeah.
no matter what. So
How do you sort of like deal with like with that emotionally draining aspect of it all? You know, whether it's just the work that you have to do or the emotion that you have to put into the actual music.
well, like today we're going to the park. You know, we take. I think it's important to take those days that you do nothing,
And to grow too as friends.
Yeah,
you know?
and just to like hang out and do nothing music oriented.
Yeah.
And like
should be
that was like
great.
something that we brought up like we're gonna hang out today, and then we had to say, just for like I don't know, we had to say like, okay, but no music, you know, like we're hanging out today, and then it was like a pause, and we were saying, but nothing music oriented, and I was like, we were on the same page, like yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So we're like going to the park and hanging out with friends, and just taking that day to like recoup our brain functions, you know. So doing stuff like that, and I think like music in itself is like gets me through the day, like every single day. Like if I can't listen to music, then I right now I work at Jimmy John's part-time, so it's like and I deliver, so I'm in the car like a lot of hours out of the week, and if I don't have music, forget it. Like it's I wouldn't function.
And I work at Staples, and they play the same songs every day. On the radio. Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah, that just that aspect of leisure is super important. I'm actually reading this book about rest and how rest helps with the productivity of people. And
You got a lot of books behind you.
yeah, and how like when you're resting, your brain is actually still working and sort of computing all that stuff that you were previously working on. So when you go to the park and do those things, your brain's still working on that music stuff.
Oh yeah.
And later on, it might be a breakthrough on something else, you know? So you need to definitely do those sort of breaks in your day and go to the park and just chill out.
Yeah, do nothing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most rewarding part of being a music artist?
Probably the supporters and the people that,
Yeah.
you know, when they message you and say, thank you for writing this song, I needed to hear it. I think that right there.
Getting that many people to like back what you do is
Believe in
crazy.
you. Yeah.
Also, like, it's kind of like weird, but like getting something physically in your hands with your art and your music is like super rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we opened up the box of the CDs and we like took out the CD, it was like, okay, we're holding this in our hands right now. Like
I made this. We made this. You know, like this is crazy.
It's right here. You know, we
Also,
have something to hold.
Yeah, when we got the CDs for our album release show, we got them the day of the album release show. So it was like, man, I hope they come. And then they were there, and it was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, just to like sort of wind down this interview. What's next for you guys? You know, is there anything specific that you guys are thinking about? You know, what should everybody be on the lookout next for Lilac Lungs?
Tour dates. We're going to be releasing those soon.
Yes.
More music videos.
Yeah.
More just awesome videos. We have a documentary coming out soon about the album release show. And
I think we're going through some like big changes right now.
too. Yeah.
So
Big changes. So.
Just like following up with our social media, you'll like know and be informed about all of that. But just like taking those next steps as like a business even, and like Emily said, like going on the road, touring all over, hopefully, living in a van, sleeping in a van, not showering for a week, that's what we look forward to.
Great. All right, it's been great talking with you. Where can people, find, Lilac Lungs online for more information?
Everywhere. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Website.
We have Snapchat. We have a website, lilaclungs.com.
We got everything.
So yeah, just go on the internet.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
All right, it's been great talking with you. Good luck with everything. The release show was amazing. Can't wait to hear more from you guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, like John said, thank you for coming to our show.
All right, no problem. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Have fun at the park.
Thanks.
All right, bye. So that was my interview with the band Lilac Lungs. They're from the Detroit area. They're awesome. They have a new album out called Eventide. Go pick that shit up. And like always, we're here at the Fresh is the Word discussion portion of the show, and I am joined by my co-host, pro wrestling and MMA connoisseur, Detroit hip-hop artist, and proud Marine, Vstylez. How you doing?
What's good, Kelly? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. We had a really cool weekend for MMA. Bellator had their Bellator 180 and NYC pay-per-view. UFC had a fight night featuring Detroit's own, the Motown phenom Kevin Lee. The funny thing was is like on Saturday I had to DJ a wedding, so I couldn't watch Bellator when it was happening. So I had to watch it the next day. So I watched all, like, part of it before UFC and then part of it after UFC. And what I got out of it was that, dude, Bellator's product right now is so much more vibrant than like UFC's product.
Yep, totally agree.
I was like, dude, this is like it just there's something bland about the production of the UFC compared to what we saw at for Bellator this weekend. And I was just like, dude, like, yeah.
Imagine if UFC had the production that Bellator has.
Right, man.
Well, I'll tell you like this, and this is what I've known all along for a long time. Scott Coker is the shit. So, I got kind of mixed feelings about this weekend's pay-per-view. People ask my opinion because they know I'm pro Bellator.
Right.
So these are my thoughts.
All right.
I thought it was the weirdest pay-per-view I've ever seen. Like,
it
not
was
in
weird.
a bad way, but like freak shit was happening.
Right. It was like, like weird shit was happening, man. Like there was a lot of things that you could say that were upsets. You couldn't really even pick anything really to happen, you know? It was just all over the board, man.
From Michael Chandler, I talked to Mo today. He said his muscle, the motor for his calf muscle went out, so
right.
he couldn't control his muscle, which left him flat-footed. So that's why you seen his foot kept going up under his ankle, is because he had no control of the actual muscle.
Yeah.
So
I feel sorry for him that happened.
Well, he's still a warrior though, man, because he wanted to fight on one leg, and he
right.
still went out like a champ. And he'll get his belt back when they do the rematch.
He was still fighting, man. He was still like hopping on one leg, and he not even knocked down Brett Primus like with one foot.
Yeah, he almost knocked him out with one fucking foot. So he'll get his belt back, and I rocks with Michael Chandler, man. So
right, I like that guy, man. I heard an interview with him today, and it was really I like that guy, man. He just about it, man. He 100%. He just about it. A warrior.
Yeah, he goes out on his shield the way he wants to every fucking time, and you can't do anything but respect that. So I fucks with him, on that aspect, and I'm a fan of Michael Chandler. Plus his wife like my Bruce Lee shoes, so right. I show love. So, his lady was like, "Oh, you have nice shoes." I said, "Hey, these are not just regular shoes. These are Bruce Lee shoes." Right. I said, "Hey, you see the stripes right there, the blood stripes? Yeah, these Kobe's are special." And she's like, "I want to get your shoes in the picture." She took the picture. It was real dope. But yeah, I fucks with Michael Chandler. So, even him losing, he's still the winner in my opinion. Right. Because he wasn't going to lose that fight.
Oh,
and
no.
He's just inconvenienced for a couple months without the strap. He'll get it back.
Right.
As far as the Fedor fight.
Dude.
Fedor, look.
That was crazy, man. They both punch each other at the same time, man.
At the same, that's what I'm talking about. This is the weirdest shit that I've ever seen. Like
What the fuck?
You know, and this is one of the things people, people like, oh man, Fedor, he doesn't have it anymore. Let's be 100% real on something. Fedor has always been an undersized heavyweight.
Right.
When you look at Matt Matrioni on the side of, or in front of Fedor, he's dwarfing Fedor.
Right.
So Fedor has always had an uphill battle as far as being the smaller heavyweight. And, Fedor's jab, Fedor's right hand connected with, it did enough damage to knock that big guy down.
Right.
So I mean, Matt Matrioni seen that, they both was down, and he just got up faster. That's how I look. He got up faster and finished the fight.
Right. That was wild, man.
It's weird fucking shit. Then they had the dude making his MMA debut.
Yeah, Aaron Pico.
Get smashed by a dude that I never heard of in my life.
Right, man. Yeah, Zach Freeman was, like a wild underdog for this. No one really knew who he was, and he comes in and just chokes him out in like 24 seconds, man. Like that shit was 24 seconds. It was like crazy, man. Like, yeah, it was just weird shit.
It was just a weird ass pay-per-view. And then you talk about the Lorenz Larkin. Who did he go against? Lorenz Larkin went against
Douglas Lima.
I can't think of dude's name.
Lima.
Man. He went against Lima.
Yeah.
Everybody, for the most part, including myself, we all thought that it was going to be fight of the night. Nah. It was a little underwhelming. And again, this is what I try to tell people, when you find out a fighter is going to Bellator. When UFC fighters go over to Bellator, people automatically think it's going to be an automatic win.
Right.
It doesn't happen like that. I mean, everybody from Vincent Henderson to Lorenz Larkin to black dude with the blonde hair been on a loser streak.
I
don't even think he's fighting in Bellator anymore, man.
Right.
But, the baby assassin or something like that, dude from New Orleans.
Yeah. Josh Koscheck?
Say again?
Josh
Koscheck.
Oh,
no. Not Josh Koscheck, but him too.
Yeah.
Him too. He's another guy that, people get caught up with this whole alphabet game. And we've been saying for years that, you may know these dudes, as far as having, I was talking about Melvin Guillard. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All
right. Everybody's so quick to say, hey, this guy was UFC, he'll kill him. Well, y'all learning real quick that it's not, I picked Lorenz Larkin to win and be the new champion, and it just didn't go down like that, man. You got guys that get up strictly because they fighting a former UFC fighter making their debut, so, that be their championships, beating the UFC fighter, because they get to put that shit on their win-loss record as a win. So, Mo had a target on his head. It took him a minute to, get back on his shit, even though he was fighting his first 5-6 fights really not even at 60-70% because he still had a knee injury.
Yeah.
Never get caught up in the alphabets, man. You watch MMA, you watch boxing because of the fighters. We wouldn't know about the organizations or the promotions if you didn't know who the fighter was. So, good win for Lima. I think Lorenz Larkin bounced back.
Right.
Go back to the Ryan Bader, Phil Davis fight.
That was a close one.
I gave that fight to Phil Davis.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he's a nice guy, but I don't even rock with him like that. So,
Right.
you know, I try to call it as I see it, and I don't think Ryan Bader, you know, won that fight. I think they gave him the belt.
Yeah, those scores
they
were all
gave him
over the board for that fight. It was a split decision. Two judges gave it 49-46 to Bader, but then the other judge gave it 48-47 to Phil Davis.
I don't even know how that shit went down like that, but
Right.
I didn't see that. I seen Phil Davis, you know, being Phil Davis with his odd, awkward style.
Yeah.
And I just think he did more than Bader. But here's the thing. Right now, it don't even fucking matter because my boy getting the first crack at this shit. And
Yeah.
we go get our hands on that belt. That belt is coming this way. So it don't matter if it's Phil, Ryan Bader. You know, I was looking at I like Linton Vassell. But
Yeah, he's
complaining
pretty
about
upset. Yeah, he's pretty upset that
he's
for all the
mad.
King Mo talk right
And-
now.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. See, Mo didn't see that. I had to tell him about that shit earlier. Here's what I have to say about that. You know, he get to talk about, you know, he fought Liam McGrary, and that's supposed to be for the number one contender shot. Technically, if you want to look at it, his last three fights have been great. And he did submit Liam McGrary. But I know it was 2 years ago, but he was utterly dominated by King Mo. He got dominated by my boy. My boy almost knocked him out in that fight.
Right.
He got hurt in that fight, but he still almost knocked that motherfucker out. So I like Linton Vassell, man. I think he's cool. But let's call it as we go call it. My boy dominated you. Sure, he's 5-2 in his last 7 fights, but one of those fights was against Crow Cop on a week and a half notice, and at heavyweight, and with no training camp. So you know, don't get me wrong, it's an L, but you don't really count that. You don't count that. And the other fight that he's talking about is the Phil Davis fight, and I don't know nobody that. You know, that Mo has been behind some, he's been on the end of some of the most heinous decisions ever in Bellator. You can't deny he lost the fight against Emmanuel Newton. That happened. Let's spin it back this. It happened. I had him running the rematch, as other people. We all had him, most I say 90% of MMA publications, experts, had him beating Rampage the first fight. When you come back to Phil, go back to Phil, he beat Phil Davis. I don't know. He was up 2-0. Even Jimmy Smith was like, I got Mo going up. Mo in the fight. He's up 2 rounds. Phil Davis is going to have to do something in this 3rd round. So when the announcement came, it's like, wow, are you fucking kidding me again? So, we have momentum on our side. We go plan. We go get that strap, and that's it. No diss to Linton, but this is the politics of the game, man. You got to sit down, and you got to wait sometimes, man. Hell, maybe you and Phil Davis can go at it. Maybe y'all could go at it to see who get the winner of that fight. I don't think, initially Bellator plan was to have Ryan go against Mo, even though it wasn't on the strap. So, for the strap. So, if Scott want to rebook this match, let's rock. October, November, let's go. That's how we looking at it. Yeah, but I definitely don't think Ryan Bader won that fight. I like Ryan Bader, great guy, but I don't think he won that fight. I think Phil Davis won that fight. I think Phil did enough to win that fight. And when you lose a championship, you got to beat the champion. And I don't necessarily think Ryan Bader beat the champion, But hey, it is what it is. That's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of weird shit going on this weekend. What about this? James?
The female boxer.
What?
The female boxer.
Oh, yeah, Heather Hardy.
Dude,
that
utterly impressed with her.
Dude, I love that. I love that fight. That was
probably the best fight of the night.
Honestly, that was the first match. That was the first fight that I watched, and I was like, dude, this is incredible.
That set the tone for some extra buys, if you ask my opinion.
Shit, and even her opponent, Alice Yager, she was like staying in that shit. It was a good fucking fight, man. And
I like how she let her stand up. Nah, get your ass up. I'm about to give you every inch of these hands.
It was. The funny thing was is sometimes with the women's MMA is getting better and whatnot, but a lot of times their striking might be a little bit subpar or really awkward looking. Those two were going at it, and it looked impressive. And Heather Hardy was just, she was her hand, man. She was throwing them some hands, bro.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Oh, and
totally.
Okay. And one of the best parts of that fight is that
what's that?
Is that Alice Yager, who is known as the MMA soccer mom, came out to Mobb Deep Survival of the Fittest.
Wasn't that ill?
I was like, whoa, hey, all right, Bellator wins. I was like,
that shit was super ill, super ill.
I was like, wait a
minute,
wait.
We started the pay-per-view out.
I was like, wait, wait, this is Mobb Deep. Wait a minute, wait, for her?
That's exact. Mm-hmm.
She's coming out to Mobb Deep. Oh shit. Okay, and just a sidebar. That's what I love about the hip hop that we grew up on, because there's something so special about it that now that we're older now, we're hearing it in the weirdest places.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
It's crazy.
I got geeked when I heard that shit too.
I was like, "Oh shit! Oh crap!" But no, that was a dope fight, man. And I'm excited to see more fights from Heather Hardy, man. She dope. I like her.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Down the line, man. This next year's goal is. You really gonna see the pendulum swing, I think, in a little bit, man. As far as like Bellator finally getting the props that they deserve.
Right. Yo, this it was crazy that James Gallagher was able to submit Shinzo Machida so quickly.
Man,
yo,
it's one of them things, man. I gotta eat crow. I was one that said, I felt like Machida was gonna get it, and I was utterly wrong on that, completely wrong on that, man. So
right.
Shout out to the kid, man. You got to give props to the kid, man.
He walked in there like a G, man. He walked up in there, just stared Shinzo right in the face and was like, "I'm going to beat you." And then 2 minutes later, he beat him.
Yeah, but but in hindsight now, are we really impressed by that? He beat a 40-year-old.
Right. So.
I know he's a Machida. And he's the older brother. You would think the older brother has a little clientele, but he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what comes up next with James Gallagher. It looks like they're still trying to eventually push that Gallagher versus McKee fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think that.
Yeah. I I want to see both of them build a little bit more, man. I want to see both of them build a little bit more, man. But Gallagher was super impressive, man. I can't even front. His jiu-jitsu game was pretty nice.
No, definitely. He was definitely impressive. What'd you make of the main event of the night, Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva?
I mean, it was what I was most happy for is it wasn't an early knockout.
Right.
It, as far as how I look at it, the game plan is what we all expected. Chael Sonnen was not gonna stand with Wanderlei Silva. He did what he had to do. He took him off his feet, and that was pretty much it.
Silva had no defense for any of those takedowns, man, at all, man. He was able to.
It's like he didn't even. I mean, he said that they went over that in training camp, but it didn't look like it.
No, man. Chael was able to get him down each time.
Yeah, Chael is an Olympic alternate. So you're talking about, the baddest of the bad. When you become an alternate or make the Olympic team, it's like it's a certain level. So you're not going to stop his takedowns.
Right.
Period. He's going to get you down. His wrestling is that good. He took Anderson Silva down a lot of times. That's second nature to him. That's why that works for him.
Yeah.
Styles make fights, and his Wanderlei style was perfect for what Chael's strong points were. So he knew to stay away from that hand because he got caught several times, and he went down once or twice from that right hand, but Wanderlei couldn't do nothing with it. So, I like both dudes. I am a MMA. I'm a reborn. I was reborn back into MMA, man. Because of Wanderlei Silva. That's when I fell in love with this sport all over again, seeing him in Pride. I'm a Chael guy because, I think I told the story before about, how I rock with Chael, and his generous soul, that he has. I'm not surprised by the outcome. It was actually a pretty decent fight.
Right. Yeah.
And I want to see what's next.
Man, Silva was pissed after that fight, man.
Yeah, because he wanted to fight. He didn't want. And Wanderlei is like Rampage. He don't want to get taken off his feet.
Right.
And it's crazy, that we still looking at this dude or both of these dudes in 2017 headlining the pay-per-view. So, salute the OGs just on that, man. And let's see where they go from here. I want to see who they go match Wanderlei up with next, and I want to see, what they're going to do as far as with Chael Sonnen, because they can sell some fights.
Definitely. Yeah, Chael Sonnen wants Fedor next, but Scott Coker's not really hot on that idea.
Nah, Scott Coker is going to make a fight that, people want to see, and it was easy to sell the Chael Wanderlei fight, because of the history, and it never happened.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see, where do we go from here? What happens after, what happens after this? Where does Fedor go? Where does Matt Matrioni go? And by the way, I was happy for Meathead all until he got to talking that Donald Trump shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like, yeah, all right. Then he said that. I was like, dude,
he ruined it. Look,
it.
I went, as I normally do. I got pictures with damn near everybody, so I posted, congratulations, meathead. As soon as he said that Donald Trump shit, man, I deleted that shit, man. Like,
Right.
nah,
I got a
ain't
picture with him
anything to
too,
do.
man. So
Deleted that shit quick, like, man, you ruined it, man. I was just about to show you some love, man. But,
right. Now,
yeah.
now I wanted
Okay.
the Russian to win, man. Now I wish the Russian would have won.
Exactly. Exactly. Man. Sad but true.
No. All right, speaking of weird MMA shit going on this weekend, what about this, the ending of this Kevin Lee and Michael Chiesa fight, UFC Fight Night?
You know, I still haven't seen that fight. I've seen that particular clip, though.
Right.
And in my opinion, just from seeing that clip, how do you not see, what's dude's last name?
Chiesa.
Chiesa?
Yeah.
How do you not see Chisa's arms not go limp for a split second?
Right. Like he looked like he wasn't intelligently defending himself. That's what it looked like.
At all. It looked like his arms went limp for a split second, and then when, you know, the ref tapped Lee to let go, he let go, then that's when he popped back up. But what was going to happen was Kevin was going to choke the shit out of him anyway. So that grip wasn't going to do nothing but get tighter and tighter. So, you know, I personally don't find fault of the ref, but in this case, I just think, you know, Dana don't like this dude, and every time he's in a main event and something somewhat controversial, that wasn't controversial to me. That if you rewind that, you can look at that footage a million times and you'll see the same fucking thing. Dude arm went limp, and the winner is Kevin Lee. I'm not mad at him, but I think it was very unprofessional of Dana to come out and bash this guy. Want to talk about him giving a heart signal? I mean, the heart sign, you know, on TV. Like, Dana be on some other shit, man.
Right.
You gonna get punched in the shit one day, but I want to like Dana White too, man, but he fucks it up all the time, man. With his like, if he wasn't so fucking personal, like, he'd be super personal with shit. It's like, dog, man, really? You know, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Congratulations to Detroit's own Kevin Lee.
The Motown Phenom.
Motown Phenom. You know, do people in Detroit say Motown anything anymore? I'm just curious. That's you know.
I don't know. Do you hear anybody say Motown anything?
Never.
No,
That's never. Okay, I thought it was just me. But salute to Detroit's own Kevin Lee.
You actually live in Detroit. I don't even get into Detroit that often anymore, so I don't even know.
Oh man.
I don't know what they call it. The D. We call it the D. I don't know.
We call it the D all day, every day. The D. I don't know nobody that calls Detroit Motown anymore. Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay.
What's that?
He was born in Grand Rapids. That's what I knew. I knew he wasn't. You know, yeah. I mean, I'll never take Detroit from you, but he was born in Grand Rapids. Okay, raised in Detroit. You went to Southfield High School. If you went to Southfield High School, you gotta have Southfield resident. But this a whole new, you know. Okay, yeah, I get it now. Okay. Yeah, okay. I get it. I get the whole Motown. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Thanks for the love, though. I mean, the city, you know, we rock with you, but I don't know, you know. Only time I think about Motown is when I hear the Tribe say, Motown, right?
O-Town.
That's right.
Oh man, what do you think about your boy BJ Penn, man?
I always gotta salute my man BJ Penn. 2009, 2010, your boy over here put out a little song on a video called Clash of the Titans. The video was kind of like the first of its kind, really, because it's the first video that ever really put MMA in a video. Like, part of the script was MMA, and we went to Mass Gym and we shot it, and it wound up being pretty dope for me.
Right.
BJ Penn's media sites would always show me love, and they will always say first rap video ever to have MMA in it. And they used to do this shit on Twitter. They used to do it on all their social media sites, man. So I rocks with BJ strong. If Vanderlei Silva is the dude that got me back into it, BJ Penn is the dude that put it over the top for me as far as like that was the guy for me. So fast forward that to now, to see him now, it's just super sad. I really hope that BJ retires after this. I really do. You just don't want to see that when it's one of your favorite guys. So
right, he just wasn't looking good in that fight at all, man. It was very disheartening to watch, man.
Yeah, super hard to watch. Just bad. Any which way you can think, it's just super fucking bad. So, we definitely we sad about that because like I said, I rocks with BJ, and to see him lose to somebody like this reminds me so much of Mike Tyson's last fight when he did an interview. He says, I think I'm going to retire because if I can't beat guys like this, then I don't need to be fighting. And that's no diss to Dennis Silver, but that's what this feels like. I hope I don't see my man again. You're a two-time world champion, welterweight and lightweight. You're a Hall of Famer. You're BJ fucking Penn, man. We don't need to see anymore. Good luck to him. I hope we don't see him anymore, man, because you don't like the people that you revere to get hurt. There's so much more to life than to possibly being injured the rest of your life. Than just living life. So I just hope, I hope BJ is over if he still has it. Yeah, you still have it, but I think it's time. I think it's time for him to hang it up. Definitely think it's time for him to hang it up.
Right. I know he has he wants to continue on and everything, and he's still getting a decent paycheck out of it all, but it's starting to taint his legacy by, the ending of this and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just for me, it's super sad, man. Because like I said, man, BJ Penn is dude. Especially if you love mixed martial arts, man. That's the dude that you rock with. Period. We love BJ Penn, man. Super sad. I really hope that really hope he retires, man. And salute to him, man. He deserves all of our respect.
Oh, definitely, man. He's a bad motherfucker.
Indeed.
All right, turning our attention to the world of pro wrestling. Doug, what was up with your boy LaVar Ball, man? Your boy.
Oh man, that was wonderful. That was,
dude.
that was wonderful.
That was one of the most pro wrestling things I've ever seen in my life, man. Like, I always knew that dude.
Beat the niggas.
Yo,
Really?
I always knew he was gonna be on WWE programming eventually, and when that shit came out, I was like, I'm not shocked at all. I knew that was about to happen. Like that dude's like LaVar Ball is more pro wrestling than most pro wrestling it is these days. Like
he is absolutely perfect for a professional wrestler. If you didn't enjoy that, something is really fucking wrong with you, man. I'm telling you, I'm still laughing at the.
Oh my!
Handle my light work, son. Handle my light work.
he's like, there's only two people better than me, and I'm both of them.
Right.
Dog, like, and see, that's the thing, man. There's a lot of people that
stay in your lane.
See, there's a lot of people that didn't like that segment, thought it was a train wreck, thought it sucked, and I'm like, yo, this, like, you guys are forgetting what pro wrestling is about, man. This
is all about, exactly.
This is pro wrestling right here. Like the what he's doing right now is like, this is like the shit. This is the shit we saw in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s that was so good about wrestling. Stupid shit like this, man.
Yeah, that shit was great, man. That shit was. I like when I'm looking at it as it's happening. I'm like, man, look, when his entrance had to easily rival Vince McMahon's walk from. You see his arms, bro, and then how he ran down to the ring and slid up under, like. You didn't like that shit? How do you not like that shit? That shit was great, man.
He was running like a little kid. He's running like a little kid, man, who's trying to run as fast as they could.
Man, that shit was wonderful, man. I wish it's like, wow, man, really that. Yeah, and for people that didn't like that segment, they don't get it.
And it did everything that the WWE would want it to. It got the mainstream media attention. The only problem was the moment when LaMelo dropped the N-word on the hot mic.
Man. Kick him in the ass! Kick him in the ass! I'm like, nah, dog, you ruined it. That, and it's the weird looking son too, the one with the hair and the, oh my God, man. Right? That's the kid that he said wasn't gonna make it to the NBA, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really been.
Yeah, the third the youngest. I think that was the youngest. It's like, dude, are you kidding me, man? Are you fucking kidding me? You're just gonna, like, wow, wow. You know, I really didn't hear it until the next day,
right?
Because there was so much stuff that was going on in that segment, and I was just.
I was laughing so hard that I totally missed that. I missed other things that they said because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, that was funny, man. That was great. So I don't understand where all the hate come from, man. I think people be bored and they don't have nothing to do.
Dog, when he took off his shirt and started doing the kung fu.
You ain't the only one that's buff. Hold on. That was great. That was great. And he started doing them katas in the ring. I was like, look at him. This is crazy. Oh, wow. That was great. That was the most fun part of the night.
Man.
That and Samoa Joe choking out Brock Lesnar. That was just fucking great.
Dude, that was man. But earlier in the night, Samoa Joe came behind on Paul Heyman and like
that was great too.
Oh my, scared the shit out of him too. Oh man, I love Man, I
He said,
love
look,
Samoa Joe.
I was waiting on him to kiss him on the forehead. That's what I was waiting on him to do, but he didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, that
I
would
was
have been
like, he kissed
perfect.
him. Yeah, he didn't do it. But I still enjoyed the whole intimidating factor of that. That was fucking great. Yeah, I really hope that they let him win the belt, and him, Brock Lesnar, and Strowman, have a match at SummerSlam to determine who's the Universal Champion. That would be pretty dope.
Hell yeah. That definitely, man.
Yeah. Looking at SmackDown yesterday, I really hate the fact that weird looking fucking Ellsworth and his what's the old girl name? What's her name?
Carmella.
Oh my God, I hate that shit. She has the worst move. Michael Jackson somewhere turning over in his grave. Like I didn't do it like that.
That is a terrible moonwalk, man.
Her shit is fucking horrible.
It's awful.
First off, you can't do the moonwalk in Jordans. I mean, you can do it, but you're not a B-boy, B-girl. That's not what you do. It's like you can see that you're trying real hard to moonwalk, and it looks like you're trying real hard to moonwalk, and it's just so fucking corny. Like, man, get this shit the fuck up out of here, man. Like, get this shit the fuck up out of here, man. For her to win again, how does Ellsworth get back in the venue? He's fucking Ellsworth. He's not fucking Brock Lesnar. He's not the fucking big guy. He's not
I don't know.
the Big Show. Ellsworth somehow gets his ass back into the building. How? How, Sway? How? I don't get that.
Okay, so this week on Raw, SmackDown, and on NXT tonight, there's women's matches to main event all these shows. Monday night, you had the gauntlet match, and then, of course, Tuesday night for SmackDown, you had the rematch for Money in the Bank, ladder match. And then tonight at NXT, they had a last woman standing match between Asuka and Nikki Cross. Yo, okay.
What? Who won that?
Asuka won the match, but that was, I'll say, out of all three of those matches, the Nikki Cross Asuka match was probably the best. Those two are.
Of course.
It was such a. I'm like, I loved like the women's division in NXT probably the most right now because it's the most variety of characters, and you have people like Asuka and Nikki Cross that are actually like, you got one who's from Japan, then you got another one who's from Scotland. So you have like the strong style from both of those places, and like they were going through tables, power bombing each other on chairs and shit. And I'm like, dude, this is fantastic, man. I love this.
Yeah,
I love this. And like in comparison,
okay.
I mean, I enjoyed the gauntlet match. I enjoyed the Money in the Bank women's ladder match, but like this Asuka and Nikki Cross match, like topped them both, man. This was like so good, and it was also this week was also the debut of Mauro Ranallo on NXT programming. So like that was.
Oh, how did he sound?
Oh, he sounded great on there, man.
Right at home. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, I think Mauro Ranallo on NXT is a perfect fit because ever since Corey Graves left, they still, they had Nigel McGuinness and then Percy and then the other guy from SmackDown, whatever his name is. But anyways, I think NXT needed that announcer who knows how to tell a story of what's going on in the match, like Mauro Ranallo does, and it really helps build the fight, the wrestlers in the ring, that all these ones that are coming up being developed, and I think Mauro Ranallo is definitely a perfect fit to be able to sort of build that brand and the talent involved in it a lot better than it has been recently.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that. Yeah, I'm happy he's a part of the WWE as well as Bellator.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely good to see him back under the WWE umbrella. But yeah, I think the NXT brand is a perfect fit for him.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to replay that show that I missed out on a couple hours ago, man. I like NXT. I like
NXT tonight was good.
I like the direction.
Was really good because they had a Hideo Itami Oni Lorcan match that was pretty good, and then they had some stuff with Sanity and Hideo Itami and Cassius Ohno that's setting up a match next week, and then they're setting up a it's next week it's gonna be Bobby Roode versus Roderick Strong. So they're setting up all these really cool things going on right now. So
okay.
So it's getting interesting again. It's like you're seeing all these like familiar faces and it's really cool, man. It's like I'm excited to see where they go next with sort of like this new crop of people that they're kind of infusing into the product.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just so happy that we're receiving so much less of Bailey.
Man, she was the first one to lose on Monday night.
You said what?
She was the first one to lose on.
That's my whole point of even saying that because, again, I'm happy to not see that corny ass shit on TV. I get mad every time she come out and making her way to the ring. It's like, oh, why do I gotta? Why do I have to be there?
I enjoyed Nia Jax in that match, man. She was.
Me too. She got robbed. For her to do all the work in that match, and for them to snatch away what, in my opinion, she earned, because she dominated everybody in that match. So of course, you come out, you the last one, and she spent somewhat like what? How many minutes in the ring? Like 30 minutes in the ring or something like that.
I think the total time of that match was like 26 minutes. So she was already out there for like 20 minutes.
She was in that match damn near 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So for her to do all that work and them take it away to build up, Sasha Banks whack ass. I mean, because I don't really feel her like that. I think she corny. That's just how I view her. I don't know her personally, but everything about like Nia Jax is real to me. She is the new, in my opinion, I hate to even put her in this comparison, but she's the new Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
She's getting better every week. You visibly see that she's getting better every week. So, it's you can only hold her down for so long. She's going to eventually be Divas champion. I mean, not Divas, but Women's Raw or SmackDown champion. And if they continue to overlook her, shame on them. Right. I don't think that they'll be overlooking her too much longer because that's one of The Rock's relatives. So he's going to make sure that she gets hers. And even in a losing cause, she still is the winner to me.
Man,
you don't eliminate all them people, and then all of a sudden, oh, you're the loser. Nah.
Yo, the funniest part of that match was, do you see that time when Dana Brooke was doing this cutesy flip into the corner, and like Nia Jax just kind of just pushes her down?
Like, get that shit up out of here.
I popped so hard for that one. I laughed so
shit
hard.
Like that'd be beautiful.
Like, nope. Nope. You out.
shit like that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, that was perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, and there was a lot of those like little like just dominant spots in that match, and that's what I liked about it. Like, it wasn't just her just throwing stuff around. There's these little parts that were really well done where it showed her dominance. So that's why.
Hey, look, me and you have to come up with a new campaign, man. I think we should do a campaign toward the WWE saying that we want a TV title. Think about this.
Yes, we need a TV title.
TV titles are valuable. You can easily build a star around the television title. That title will get defended. I think the TV title should be extended to both brands. I think the TV champion should defend it on Raw and defend it on SmackDown. Just think about, like, when I come up, we had Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Dusty Rhodes, Sting, Rick Steiner, everybody that was anybody held the World TV title at one time. Why the WWE don't have a World TV title is beyond me. It makes no sense whatsoever. You know, you'd rather have a Euro title than have a TV title. And depending on who that belt was on, that value will be probably looked out better than somebody like Brock Lesnar, who's a part-time champion.
Right.
So I don't understand why they haven't thought of it.
Yeah, a TV title could be fun. That just constantly is defended. And
when you think about it, title's not defended every week.
No.
Fans want to see a title get defended every week. A TV champion will have no choice but to defend his title because he's the TV fucking champion.
I'm down with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down with that.
I'm down with that too.
We need like a Twitter campaign, a hashtag or something.
That's what I'm saying. We need a TV championship.
But what would the hashtag be?
Bring back the TV title.
WWE bring back the TV title or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would I'm totally down with that. That would be fresh. And
think about how many wrestlers they could build just off of a World Television Championship.
Right, they could give it to you could have, like Apollo Crews. Let's give it to him.
I wouldn't give it to Apollo Crews. I would give it to Baron. I would give it to Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron Corbin. Yeah, I think, and I've been saying this forever, is that whoever wins the Money in the Bank has to defend the Money in the Bank briefcase until they cash it in.
Until they cash it in, yep.
That's what they do with the in New Japan for the G1 Climax. Because when you win the G1 Climax, you win a contract to go against the champion at the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom. But before that, you have to defend that contract. You can lose it.
Yeah, I would take that concept and I would run with it. Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Definitely.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all.
But yeah, we gotta get the hashtag for the TV title poppin'. Bring
the TV title back.
Bring the TV title back. Yes. We gonna
work on that, man. That's gonna be some shit that we work on. We gonna get other people involved in that, man. We need a world TV title.
Yes, we gotta definitely get on that. We gotta get some big name people behind us. Get some people from the wrestling, from the entertainment.
That will be super dope. World TV title.
Yes.
Defended live.
All right, man. This is about it for this week's Fresh as the Word podcast. Vstylez, tell them where they can find you online.
You find your man online on Twitter.com/Vstylez. Same thing with Facebook /Vstylez, VSTYLEZ. The exact same thing with Instagram. Instagram.com/VSTYLEZ. And my official Facebook verified page at Facebook.com/official common spelling Vstylez, Vstylez, one word, official Vstylez. And that's it.
All right, man. Word up. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Peace out.
Fresh is the word.